Howdy, this is Just Puzzling. My name is Chris. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you for joining me for this Killer Sudoku. I'm going to do this at the expert level on my iPad. I'll go through the rules of Sudoku, then how the cage is affected to create a Killer Sudoku, and then I'll tell you a little piece of information that helps me solve the puzzle, and then we'll get into it. Alright, there are 9 rows in a Sudoku, 9 columns in a Sudoku, and 9 boxes in a Sudoku. In each of the rows, columns, and boxes, we need to have the numbers 1 through 9. It's really about finding the intersection point. Then we've got cages. In the cages, we've got the dotted line that puts a boundary on the cage and a number at the top left-hand corner. What we have to do is we have to have unique numbers add up to the number in the top left-hand corner. So say, for example, if this was, and don't follow this from a point of view of proper Sudoku, but if this here was 13, it cannot be 3, 5 and 5, right? So it has to be 3, 4 and 6, for example, and that works on that. Now the other thing that actually helps me is because each row has to have an individual box or column, has to have an individual number 1 through 9, what's that added together? Well, that's 45, and that comes in handy, and I'll show you that right now. So in this top row, it's got to add up to 45, but I've got a spare cage here, or a spare number. This is a full cage, this is a full cage, and this is a full cage. So this is going to be a spare number here. So 13 plus 16 is 29, plus 15 is 44. How much is that short of 45? 1. Alright, we can do that number there, which is a 6, because that's on its own. So I'm going to look for those to start with and see how we go. Alright, so I've got another row across here that's actually going to be there with that spare cage there. So 14 plus 6 is 20, 10 and 10 is 20, so that's 40. To get to 45, I need a 5. Alright, so that's that. What else can we see? We can see that cage there is a 1. Because this is a 1 and 3, because that's the only number that makes up a 4, 1 has to be in here. 17 has got to be an 8 and 9. Interestingly enough, I've got these two boxes, which would be 45 plus 45 added together as a full enclosed of all cages except for that cell there. So let's add them together. 13, 25, 41, 54, 71 plus 14 is 85. If I've added up that correctly, that's a 5. And what that means is this has to be at number 5 left. So this is going to be 2 and 3 because 1 and 4 can't have a 4 again, another 1 in that cage. Alright, so what we do know is that's 6 now. So 11 minus 5 is 6. I've got a spare thing over here. So 6, 17 is 23, 33. So these two are going to add up to 12 to get to 45. So that's going to be a 4. Now we've got a spare one here. So 9, 13, 28, 45. Alright. So that's got us some of the way to solving this puzzle, but I don't know how much. We can also see now that this is a 5 and a 5, so this 5 is going to be up here, so this is going to be 5 and 7. 9 cannot be here, because that would have to be 9, 1 and 3 to get to 13, and the 1's already gone, so this is going to be 9 and 6 here. Which will leave me with 8, 2, 3 over here. 8, 2, 3, but I don't know anymore. 5 comes down here and up here. 5 can be here, can't be here, and can be there. Okay. 12, 18 is 30, that's 36. So these two are going to add up to 9. So if that's a 9, it can't be 5 and 4. It can be most of the other numbers, so we won't worry about that for the moment. 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Okay. Interesting. So 19 plus 9 is 28, 32. So these are going to be 13. So that if that's 13, the only number that can be is 4 and 9. So because anything above 5 won't go in there. So that's a 4 and that's a 9. All right. 1 and 3 there. So 1, 3, 4. So this is 7 and 2. 8, 6 and 5 down here. So 8, 6 and 5, 2, 3. So 4 can be here, can't be here. 4 and 8 works, 4 and 9 works. Actually, that's a 1. That's going to help me. So 4 and 1's here, 3 and 1's in here. That can't be a 1, so that's a 3, leaving this to be a 1 up here. So 1 comes up here, 1 comes up here, can't be there, so that's a 1 there. 1 comes across here, 1 comes across here, 1 can't be here, so 1 can be one of these two. Alright, now what I do also know is 1 can't be in this row, 1 can't be in this row, that's the only space that 1 can go, so that's a 9. Okay, and this now is going to be 2 and 8. 8 can't be there, so that's an 8 there, leaving this to be a 2. 8 comes down here. So 2, 3. I need a 4, which can't be there because that's a 9. So that's a 4 there, leaving this to be an 8. And this is going to be 6 and 7. Now 7 and 2's there. 6 is in here, so that can't be a 6. So this is a 6 here, leaving this to be a 7. Alright, 7 and 5's up here. 8 and 9 here, so this is 6 and 4. I should do this number. So there's a 5, leaving this to be the 9. Alright, so 9's going to be one of these two. 9's going to be one of these two. 19, 9, 1 and 3, so 1 can't be here, so this has got to be a 1 here, leaving this to be a 3. 2 can't be here, we know 2's not there, because this is a 2 and 7, so this is a 2, leaving this to be the 7. So 7 can't be here. Remember, this is 7, 5 up here. 7 can't be here, so that's a 7 there, leaving this to be a 5. Reason we know it was 7, 5 is 8 and 9 is the only ones that could add up to 12, and they were already taken. So this is 6 and 4, 8 and 9, and 2 and 3. 1, 4, 5, so this can be 3 and 6 or 2 and 7. So this has got to be 8 and 3 here. This is 8 and 5 with 8 and 3 here. So this is an 8, leaving this to be a 5. This can be 5 and 8 or 6 and 7. So 7 and 6. Okay. 1, 1, 1. 1's there, 1's there. 1's going to be one of those two. 1 is not. 1's going to be one of these two and one of these two. If that's a 1 there, that has to be an 8 and 9 in there, which can't be, so that's the 1 there. 1 comes across here, 1 comes across here, 1 comes down here, 1 comes up here, 1. Now 5's an interesting one to me, because I reckon the 5 comes down here, 5 comes up here, 5 can't be there, so that's a 5 there. And now we know that this is 8 and 5. So 8 and 3 here, 9 and 6, 9 and 8. So just going to add that up, 15, so that's going to be 30. So 30 makes that 8 and 7. Or 6 and 9. So 7's one of these two. Okay. 7 and 4 there. 8 and 5. So this could be 7 and 6 or 9 and 4. This is 8, 2, 3. So 8's one of those. So this is a 2 or 3. 8 and 9 there, 7 and 6, so I don't know about that. What do we got now? So 14, 31, 36, so this is 9, so it can't be 1, 3, so this is 2 and 7. If that's a 2, that's 7, that's a 9, that works. Well, it has to be, because so two can't be there. Okay. Let's do this again just to check. 14, 31, 36, so 9. 1 and 8's out. 3 and 6 is out, so it's 2 and 7. So that has to be the 2, leaving this to be the 7. This has got to be a 6, leaving this to be the 9. Yes, 9 there. So that means that this can't be a 9 here, so that's a 9 there, leaving this to an 8. And I did that under the rules of Sudoku. 9 comes down here, 9 comes down here, so that's a 9 there. 1, 2, so if that was a 2, that'd be a 7, works. 2, that'd be a 5, so that can't, so that's a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, so this is a 4 here, leaving this to be a 3, and this to be a 7. Alright, so 7 comes up here, 7 comes across here, so that's a 7 there, leaving this to be 4 to get to 12. Alright, 4 comes across here, 4 comes up here, 4 comes up here, so that's a 4, making that a 6. 9 can't be here, so this is a 9, leaving this to be an 8. 9 and 6 over there, 8 and 5 there. 8 can't be here. This is 8 and 5, alright, because it can't be 6 and 7. Why can't it be 6 and 7? Because I said so. But 8 and 5 must be here somewhere, and 5 can't be here. So this is 8 and 5. That's an 8, so that's a 5 there, leaving this to be an 8. 8 comes across here, 8 comes across here, so that's an 8 there. I still need to have a 5. 5 can't be there, so 5, and that means this has got to be a 6 to add up to 19. 1, 2, 3. 3 is here, so 3 comes up here, 3 comes up here, so that's a 3 there. 1, 2, so 2 can't be here, so this is a 2, leaving this to be an 8. 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's, the other numbers are going to be 8, which is, no, 7, 3 and 4. So 4 can't be here, so this is a 4, leaving this to be a 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 can be here and here. 3 and 6 can't work. 6 and 6 is out, so 3 and 6 doesn't work there. So 3 is one of these two with an 8. 8 can't be here, so that's an 8 there, leaving this to be the 3. Alright, 3 comes down here, 3 comes down here, so I need a 3 in this row. And this is 7 and 4. Just telling you that because I don't know any more than that at the moment. Okay, so 7 and 4, 1, 2. So if that was a 2, that'd have to be a 6, which doesn't work. So that's a 2 there, leaving this to be a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Making that's a 2 to get to 11. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 9 are here, so that's 18, so that's got to be a 6. By the way, 6 comes up here, so this is a 6 here, leaving this to be a 9. 9 comes down here, so that's a 9 there, and I need a 4. 4 comes down here, so this is a 4, leaving this to be a 7. And then I've got a couple more things to do, haven't I? So this is 2 and 7. 7 can't be here, sorry, 7 can't be here, so this is a 7, leaving this to be a 2. 2 can't be here, so this is a 2, leaving this to be a 3. Alright, so we did that puzzle in just under 14 minutes. Pretty happy with how that went. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, bye for now.